This is a really random video. I don't make videos normally. This is actually my first one. And the reason that I'm making this video, well, there's a couple of reasons. This is directed toward any new people that are maybe considering investing in cryptocurrency. Maybe you've heard about XRP. This is specifically directed to you, mainly because I was someone who heard about cryptocurrency a few years ago, kind of just blew it off. It seemed too complicated and very technical. That was when Bitcoin was just kind of an idea that I had been seeing online here and there in like tiny little chat groups. I've always had conspiratorial leanings, but this was like really far out. I didn't understand it. I would just see little groups here and there, and I kind of was like, huh, that's interesting. Anyway, fast forward years later, I don't even know how I heard about XRP, but cryptocurrency, oh, I know what it was. 3 of my friends were giving me a hard time, and they said, you really need to get involved in this. And I thought that ship had sailed, and they told me, no, it didn't. So get into it. So I started looking into it, and I was pretty confused. I'm not a technical person at all. I somehow, I looked up Bitcoin again. I was like, wow, it's pretty expensive. It was like 7,000 something. And I somehow stumbled across XRP. I remember what I did was I went on to Fiverr, and if you don't know Fiverr, Fiverr is a website. It's fiverr.com. It's a website where you can hire people for like odd job, side gigs, everything from like building you a logo to writing you like a kind of a crappy song. If you pay more, you could probably get a better song, and everything that you can think of. So I thought it would be wise for me to find someone who understood cryptocurrency, because if I was going to get involved with this in any capacity, I wanted to understand it just a little bit. So found a guy, $5. He spent an hour with me on Skype and told me all about what he does. And so he was someone who invested in, I guess it was Bitcoin, not too long ago when it was pretty, I wouldn't say cheap, it was cheaper. And he made a lot of money. And ever since then, he just wanted to give back. He wanted to help people because he had more money than he knew what to do with. So he started a company with, I think, 1 or 2 partners, and they started helping people, like pretty wealthy people at first, people that would just be like, here's my money, could you manage it? And then they would like invest in different crypto and make them more money. And he said that it was gratifying, but not as gratifying as it would be if he could help people like me who were knew nothing about this industry or this space. And so for not too much money, I gave him, I don't know what it was, a few $100 for an entire year. He was going to show me, how to navigate these crypto waters. And I thought that was a good idea. So anyway, I've been speaking to him roughly once a week for like an hour on Skype, and he's taught me so much. Anyway, I asked him about XRP. I came across that coin. I was like, this looks really interesting. And he's like, oh, the community is insane about this about this asset. So I was like, well, I want to check it out some more. So I looked into it, and I realized what a cool community of people. I mean, seriously, you won't find a community like the XRP community anywhere. I mean, say what you want, do all the research you want, but I'm telling you, there's a cast of characters here that cannot be compared to anything I've ever seen. So YouTube was one of the places I went. I read articles, I did all kinds of research, read everything I could find, listened to everything I could find, podcasts, you name it. Anyway, XRP kept coming up, and so I didn't have tons of money, but I started to invest in. I think when I got into it, it was 20 something cents. So I bought a little bit. And then every week I would talk to this guy. And, he suggested that I diversify. So I did. I bought a couple of different coins, here and there. And then I was like, I'm just going to put more into XRP. What do you think about that? He's like, well, XRP is not a bad idea, but why don't you just keep, just in case, keep some of your money in some of the other coins. I'm like, no, I think I'm going to do mostly XRP. I'll do a couple. So it went from like 15 coins down to like 10, down to 5. So now it's just a few. But anyway, I thought that this would be a good idea for a few reasons. So one of the reasons was I've been trying to tell my friends and family about XRP or any cryptocurrency really, but mainly XRP for, a few months, and they don't listen. Nobody's listening. Probably of everybody that I've told, maybe I've got 5 or 6 people that have listened and have invested. One of them has been homeless on and off for a good, 25 years. He's a really good friend of mine. He's amazing. And he has a really good heart. He usually doesn't even have money for cigarettes. So over the years, I've helped him out here and there. But for some reason, he listened. He likes a good, a good investment. So, anyway, doesn't even have a lot of money. And he bought, I guess like $100 worth. So, anyway, he's one. One of my brothers listened to me finally after sending him texts and videos and emails and just reminders. And he didn't actually buy it himself. He just sent me a little bit of money and said, could you buy me some? So I'm just holding it in my wallet. One of them was a client through one of my jobs, former military guy, smart guy. And I think there's one other guy that I've known for years. He bought XRP and then he sold it a year ago. And I told him, get right back into that, which he did. Don't know why he listened, but he did. So anyway, there's one more I'm not remembering. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, is because I think this is like what some people are calling the investment opportunity of a lifetime. And from what I've seen and what I've read, I agree with that. I just don't want to let this pass by without more people knowing about it. So this is really, like I said, directed toward new people that are new like I am. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not a financial, enthusiast. I know nothing about technical analysis, that's pretty apparent, I think, by this time. And even if I was, I don't think I would share any of that with you, because I want it to be from a newcomer to other newcomers. So my goal is if one person listens to this and as a result takes a look at XRP and really what it's about and delves into it deeper, then I feel like my job will have been done. I would prefer 2 or more, but 1 is fine. So that's one. I feel like if I can't get friends and family to listen, and I'm talking like 100 people I've talked to about this, and I've got like maybe 5 or 6 people. Everybody else, the standard response is usually they look at me and then their eyes glaze over. That's pretty common. I've had people tell me, I love you a lot, but you're crazy, which I've always heard that, so that doesn't really bother me. I've had people tell me, one person told me I'm already rich, so I couldn't really argue with that. And then I've had some people tell me, I don't have the money, or and these are people that like just bought homes, The good thing about XRP is that you really don't need a lot of money at this point. I keep dropping my earphone. At this very moment, XRP is, I think I have the screen up here. This is coinmarketcap.com. So it's like almost 52 cents. And it went up not too long ago. A couple weeks ago, I guess, it was like 46 cents. A few weeks before that, it was 27 cents. And there's an anticipation that it's going to shoot up. We don't know exactly when, but that's one of the things I wanted to mention here today. So anyway, to get more to the point, this is for newcomers that are newer than I am. I wanted to point you in the direction of some really interesting people in this community that can give you much better in-depth analysis if you want that, really fact-based stuff, a lot of entertaining characters I can point you to, which I will in this video. And you know, another part of this is that let's just say that you decide to get involved in this. And let's just say you buy a little bit of XRP. If all of these people are correct, and all of these analysts and all of these characters in the community and me and whomever else you come across, right? Ripple, the company, if everybody is correct in saying that they think this is going to go way higher, potentially over the years, but let's just say in the short term, it's 51 cents right now. Let's just say it went to $10 in the next few months or the next year. That's really pretty good if you got in now. And let's just say you watched this video and you didn't get involved and you said, you know what, she's full of shit. And so is everybody else for that matter. And then just imagine a year, 2 years, 5 years. Let's just imagine that XRP was everywhere. You were like, you couldn't watch the Super Bowl if you're into that kind of thing. You couldn't watch anything on TV if you're into TV. You couldn't listen to the radio. You couldn't go onto a website without seeing a pop-up ad and mentioning XRP in some fashion. How would you feel? Don't answer that. So essentially, I just wanted to kind of show you a couple of quick websites you can check out, and a couple of people in the community that if you haven't heard of them already, you know, you might want to check them out. So, oh God, my earbuds like never pop out and they just keep popping out. I think I have them in the wrong ear. All right. I think they're in. So anyway, CoinMarketCap, I can't speak tonight. CoinMarketCap is right here. So this is where you can check the price of any digital asset. So if you go to just coinmarketcap.com, you can see Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, in order. You can sort by change in 24 hours. You can sort by, you know, minus, positive, whatever you want price. So that's one. Some of the people in this community that I briefly mentioned, one of them is Digital Asset Investor, really good guy, has great suggestions and great content. He was a financial advisor years ago, so he knows what he's talking about, has done amazing videos. He usually does anywhere from 1 to 3 per day. They're short enough so you can, you know, if you've got a short attention span, check him out. Also to the Lifeboats, his name is Sam I Am, that's his stage name. Amazing, amazing content. He does a lot of decoding on the Ripple Riddler, and a couple of other potential insiders that give clues about price predictions, things like that. Check him out, really amazing. Couple other ones, Jungle Inc., really great content. CKJ Crypto News, great content. DM Logic. I'm just kind of running through them quickly so that you can get a sense of who they are if you want to look them up. Rob Cash, really entertaining, straight to the point. So check them out. And then Ledger Nano S, this might mean nothing to you right now, but it's where you would go to, you'd buy one of these from the website preferably. So here's the address. This is where you could store your cryptocurrency should you decide to buy it. Again, not a financial advisor, not telling you what to do. I'm just strongly suggesting. So if you're on the fence, I'd just like to maybe push you off the fence just a little. So this is where many people go to buy their Ledger Nano. I can't speak. You know what it's called. You can read it. Anyway, should you decide to buy some cryptocurrency, this is a good place to go. There's other places. I'm just going to give you the basics. This is where I went. Coinbase.com. You sign in, you get your account, and then you can, I'll just give you one way to do it. Buy some Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Right now it's like 6,300 or something. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin if you wanted to. And then once you buy it, you could move the Bitcoin, and there's YouTube videos that'll show you how to do this. You can move the Bitcoin over to Binance.com. So you get a free account there, sign in, you move your Bitcoin from Coinbase to Binance, and once it's on Binance, you just translate it into XRP. Now you've got XRP. Easier said than done, but once you get over the quick learning curve, it'll make more sense. So those are just some basic things I wanted to point out. Again, this is just geared toward newcomers, like really newbies, because that's kind of what I am. I'm maybe a little bit less new than you. And then the last thing I wanted to point out was this guy's pretty cool. I don't know if the sound quality is going to be very good, but this is a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, and he has a company called VaynerMedia. Really sharp guy, kind of sharp language, if you don't mind that so much. I really don't. But he was doing a talk. He does a lot of talks at the Keynote. He was a keynote at a blockchain event in Las Vegas not too long ago. And I kind of fast forwarded it to a part that I thought was really interesting. He's not just about blockchain. He works with large brands. He sees things coming and he calls them pretty accurately ahead of time. And so for that reason, I've just been following him for a while. But anyway, he had some interesting things to say about the future of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I'm going to play it. If you can't hear it, you could just look it up. It's the title's right here, Future of Blockchain and Cryptocurrencies Keynote. And then just go to 1811. So I'll play it. That'll be the last thing I do here. Hopefully this was helpful to one person. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Please understand that if you believe in the nirvana of complete and utter blockchain at scale, that you're talking about substantial World War III fucking dynamics. And so, while everybody's walking around and thinking about short-term economics and the quick scores they're making on the currency that's built on top of these frameworks and the flip they made to change their short-term lives, which is phenomenal and inspiring and super fucking cool, I hope that there's certain people in here that are starting to deploy 5, 10, and 20-year windows, because if you are, and you're thoughtful about it, the economics, but more importantly, the legacy that you can leave becomes remarkable. And I promise you, for anybody in here who's made $1 or $2 in their lives, very quickly money stops mattering and other shit starts taking over. So, it's really fucking cool you made $1 million on some bullshit cryptocurrency. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is you're actually here, which means you are fundamentally 0.00001% ahead of society in your opportunity. I hope that you give the meaningful thought process and strategy against this advantage you have. Because when I saw people have it with social, and when I saw people have it with email, and with search, and with the internet itself, 99.9% of them fucking blew it because they were going for the short-term score because they didn't respect in the macro opportunity. You have one life. Do something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I probably should have mentioned, this is a really, really amazing opportunity, not just to make scores of money that you probably haven't ever seen before, but it's an amazing opportunity to make life-changing decisions for entities outside of yourself and for the world and for whatever it is you want to make a difference. This is your opportunity. So that, I can't stress that enough. Anyway, thanks again.